Hey there, I am going to go ahead and show you guys how to create the WOR every month and how I set it up from the previous month and what I open. So this should be a really quick tutorial, probably just a couple of minutes. So this is just going to be how to set up the WOR. I want to break these up into individual modules so that you're not having to watch like 10-minute videos and things like this. So let me go ahead and share my screen here and get going with you guys. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so the first thing that I do is actually open up the the master team productivity sheet, and I open that up and I click update. So that's going to give us the latest updates that you guys have put in to all of the individual timesheets that we have. And I think you guys are actually doing this at some point. Not always does it come up to March. So you definitely want to come down here to the bottom and make sure that it comes up to the current month that you're in. Okay, and then I just quickly glance through here just to make sure that, and I'm going to increase the size. So if you guys ever get this back from me where the size is like gigantic on your laptop, that's why I'm on a big monitor, and that's what happens. So it looks like from the previous month for February, we have a new business in here that you guys have entered under Center for Surgical Specialists North Suburban Medical Center of Aurora, but I don't see any time in here for that, and I don't see any rate. So that's going to be one of my questions for you that I'll send over on Voxo this morning. Let's see. So everything looks a little, looks pretty good. Okay, for now. We'll go ahead and look at everything once we go into the WOR. So the second thing I do is I actually open up the WOR, which is in the same location, which you guys know. Let me find it. Where is it at? There it is. Okay, so when this opens, you're also, you won't have to click update because you've already opened up. And we're going to actually split this screen here. And we're going to increase this one so you can see it. So, all right, so what I usually do is I usually take, you'll see here at the bottom, it says February. I right click on February and I say move or copy. And I am going to make a copy, create a copy, and I'm going to move it to the end of the sheet. This is going to create a copy of a snapshot of February, and it's going to create that copy to March. Okay, we're going to right click on February. We're going to rename it to March. Okay. And then the big key thing up here is that in here you have a formula right here. Okay, this is your formula. Anything that starts with an equal sign is a formula in Excel. Okay, and that says that it's supposed to copy it from January I3. And what we're doing is we're just getting our date set up. So we're going to go back to February, and February ended on column I. So we're going to tell it that we want it to change it from January to February. And actually, we're not going to do that yet. I'm so sorry. The first thing you're going to do is either do a Control-H on your keyboard. Ah, what happened? Oh, you know what? I didn't do a Control-H. I did a, on my Mac, I did something different. You're going to do a Control-H on your keyboard, or you're going to do Edit and then Replace. Okay? And you're going to replace February with March, okay? And you're gonna hit reply all, or replace all, and it's gonna replace so many instances. Currently we have 25 instances of February. So the reason I didn't change that date from January to February yet is because if we had changed it to February, it would have gone to March, and that's not what we want. Okay, so close this, and then come up here, and you're gonna change this to February. And then you'll see all of your weeks populate with your dates. And then we're going to need to copy this one to week 5 because we have 5 weeks in this period this month. Okay, and because we have 5 weeks in this period, so you'll see all of these are linked to the master sheet. So anything, like I said, that starts with an equal sign links to the master sheet. Okay, and it tells you. So it says master team productivity sheet, it's linking to March, and it's linking to cell B 8. That's what that means. So if we go look at cell B8, let me split this screen. Whoops. Let me see if I can get this one over here. There we go. I like my monitor big because then I can split my screens and see everything. And this is really how I get all of your guys' stuff done during the month. So, all right. So we're going to look at, oh, I don't want to change that. So the ALS clinic is on B8. Okay. So when things don't match up, like the medical center of Aurora isn't on here. So we're going to need to decide where we're going to add it. Usually I add new ones over here. You'll notice, which I like new business down here, just because it's a lot easier to add in. You'll see why once we go through some of this stuff over time. So I think as I'm looking at this, we've got Abrams, we've got the ALS clinic, we've got Centennial Peaks. Okay. And then we've got Center for Surgical Specialty. This is the one I want to make sure. So, okay, so DDRC must have been the old one. So we can change this now since you guys have reused DDRC, which is totally fine, to Medical Center of Aurora. Okay. And then it's still picking up the correct cell. So it's going to tick B11. And then Dr. Snyder's is coming out correctly, Highlands Behavioral Health. So I just go through these and just verify that we're on the right cells first. I don't verify any type of like hours or anything like that until we get going. So the one thing you want to do is you want to come over here, and I will mark these a little bit better. I just kind of go through them, but you'll see anything that has like a star, which is times, we need to change those 4s to 5s because that's for your 5-week period for your flat minimum rates, things like that. I usually have them either starred or I think what we'll do is color code them for you guys so that you have a different color coding for them. Usually yellow means that I've changed a rate recently for something that you've asked me to do. So that just denotes that. I don't always erase them. It's just kind of showing that we've got a new rate increase. Or decrease, whatever that may be. So all of these 4s become 5s for your 5-week period. And this is a little manual, but it does allow for all of those things to then shift and do what they're supposed to do. And some of them I have calculating a couple different ways just to make sure that we catch everything that we're supposed to be doing. Okay. All right, so that's everything that's supposed to be calculating with 5s. So the other thing that I do is I check, so Rose and Skyridge have multiple lines. You'll see here how they're adding. So anytime that I have a multiple line formula, it's gonna say it's pulling from the master team productivity sheet from this, this cell, adding to this cell. So we're adding B20, B21, B22, B23, B24, and B25 for rows. So if you go over here, okay, get rid of that. If you go over to your master team productivity sheet and you highlight those rows, at the bottom down here, you'll see a sum. $27,461 is what you have for this month. So that's how I verify that it's calculating correctly. And then that sum should match your total for the period, which is over here. Okay, I do the same thing for Skyridge, and this is how I know when they're off. 5,140, that one's also matching up. We've kind of taken care of a lot of this stuff, which is really cool. All right, so that pretty much takes care of the top half. I'm not going to really do any more to this right now because I am not going to go back. I haven't gone back to like check the master team productivity sheet. This is just setting up the WOR. And then I go ahead and get rid of everything in here. So you can highlight everything in here and just click delete. If you're on a Mac, Jessica, you can't click delete. You'll need to do clear contents. That will save all of the formatting, but get rid of all of the data that's in the cell, okay? Anticipated MNT revenue, I know you guys gave me that, so let me see what that is here. See if I can pull that up in my email here real quick. see. MNT revenue for the month is $270.80. Okay, so 270.80, so that just goes into here. So just add those numbers in, obviously, as you're going. So the other number to take a look at and make sure that we're pulling it correctly is this down here, the expense reports. So assuming that this number over here on the master team productivity sheet is correct, then the expenses are good. They're matching, so that's just what we're looking at right now. Is it matching? Is it matching? Is it matching? I'm not sure what this transfers for. We'll have to take a look at that and figure out why that's still in there. Okay, so technically right now you're at 18,000. That we know is not going to be the same because you don't have your, the other thing we want to do is dump out your labor. Okay, same thing. You can do these individually, or you can do clear contents, Jessica, or just highlight Jennifer and click delete. I think, John, you're on a PC, so just let me know if that's the case. If you're on a Mac, then I'll do this for both, just in case somebody down the road wants to use a PC. Okay, so at this point, the WOR is technically set up. So I am going to close out this module for you guys and stop sharing the screen and close this out, save it, and send it to you. And then when I do the next module for some of the other stuff, then I will go ahead and record that. So hopefully this will be small enough to do that. Okay. All right, stop the recording.